Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing part 2 of the Tomb of Remorse weapons. Part 1 was uploaded about 2 days ago, so if you guys haven't watched that, I recommend watch that first and then this, unless you don't really have anything that you want or any weapons that you use from that video, then just watch this one. But this will cover the rest of the weapons that were included in part 1, mainly range stuff, and obviously the Shadowcross Ranger, Windhawk, Abies Chaser, the Trover and Troubadour jobs, as well as the Inquisitor and the Cardinal jobs. First, before we start, wanted to let you know that these weapons are craftable and you can get them by exchanging 700 minias, and these are dropped from the Tomb of Remorse. Drop also by, the drop rates are pretty low, but they're dropped by the 2 MVPs, Tiara and Sakurai, and they're also dropped by the regular monsters. It's important to note that these are level 5 weapons with level 230 level requirement, and they all have 2 slots. Now first, let's take a look at the Pentia Liber, for the Cardinal. You get M attack plus 215. You get attack and M attack plus 5%. You get 10% damage for Petio. You get 3% dupe light damage every 2 refines. Now plus 7 you get attack speed plus 10%, yeah. Plus 9 you get dupe light damage plus 30%. And plus 11 you get 15% holy property magic damage. Would actually be cool if that was all property, but 10% holy is still pretty good. Now for grading, grade D you get Petio plus 5% damage, grade C 8%, SM attack plus 1, grade B 12%, SPL plus 1. Did I mention that it's indestructible too? But dupe light is one of those builds that a lot of people sort of shy away from, just because the whole melee thing, and you have to be up close and personal, and most of the time it's not really the most convenient way to go up against an MVP, especially with hard MVPs that we have now. It's not really something that a lot of people would normally do, but I for one actually love auto builds, and the dupe light build is actually something that I've been thinking of, and I do have an F2P concept for it, so you might see the Liber incorporate into that. I don't know, I'm not sure, because it's pretty hard to even try to make one, but some people do have it, especially the Shadowcross ones. So we'll see in a couple weeks, months, or years, I don't know. Next, the Pentia Crystalum for the Cardinal, obviously still indestructible. M attack plus 250, plus 10%, also flaming damage plus 10%, and every 2 refines you get 3% damage for Adoramus. Now plus 7 you get VCT reduction of 10%, plus 9 you get 30% Adore damage, and plus 11 you get all race magic damage except players, plus 15%. It's pretty solid. I would I would actually prefer more, but that 30% Adore damage plus additional 3% per 2 refines is already looking pretty good for a level 5 weapon compared to everything else. Now grading, 5% flaming damage, grade D, grade C 8%, SM attack plus 1, grade B 12%, SPL plus 1. I don't know, I don't really play Cardinal or even Archbishop anymore, so if any of you guys play Archbishop or Cardinal and are looking to get this, why? And is it pretty good, or have people tested it? I don't know. Leave a comment below. Next, the Pentia Nervous for the Inquisitor. Attack is 10%. 10% second fate damage. Every 2 refines you get 3% damage for Tiger Cannon. Plus 7 HP plus 10%. Plus 9, you get 30% Tiger Cannon damage. Plus 11, you get minus 1 second Tiger Cannon cooldown, which is actually pretty good. I think it's got like 5 seconds of cooldown, so that's 4 seconds down, and then you can just, juju whatever using OCPs, and that might actually work. For grading, you get 5% second faith damage. Grade C, 8% P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12% pound plus 1. So it's not indestructible though. So yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Next is Pentia Ungula. Inquisitor for the Inquisitor. Attack plus 10%. 10% explosion blaster damage. Every 2 refines you get 3% rampage blast damage. Plus 7 you get minus 15% rampage blast SP consumption. Plus 9 you get 30% rampage blast damage, and plus 11 you get minus 1 second rampage blast cooldown. I really like this actually, because you get the SP consumption, the cooldown, the extra damage for rampage blast. It's it's very solid if you are running the rampage blast build. For grading, same thing. Grade D, 5% explosion blaster damage. Grade C, 8% P attack plus 1. Grade B, explosion blaster damage plus 12%, and then POW plus 1. Nothing different from everything else, but like I said, this is more solid. This is what I like to see. In terms of application, I don't know. I don't really play Inquisitor, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are looking to get one of these. Next, for the Shadow Cross, we have the Pentia Nervous, attack plus 10%, impact crater damage plus 10%, every 2 refines you get 3% rolling cutter damage, at plus 7 you get attack speed plus 10%, plus 9, 30% rolling cutter damage, and plus 11 you get minus 12% ACD reduction. This is actually the first time I've seen ACD reduction on one of these weapons, and it's a Shadow Cross weapon too. Grading, 5% impact crater damage for grade D. Grade C, 8% P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12% pound plus 1. Rolling cutter, yeah, but not a lot of people still are using rolling cutter, just because I guess cross impact or meteor assault is probably the most popular now, just with the resurgence of some of the other gears and how effective it is. But still, rolling cutter is one of those basic and very cheap to run builds that you can actually do, especially if you're running F2P. This might actually be a pretty good weapon to use. Next, the most popular, and I feel a lot of people have been actually going crazy for, the Pentia Mukro, or whatever. Macro. Attack plus 10%, shadow stab damage plus 10%. Every 2 refines you get 3% damage for cross impact. Plus 7 you get 15% critical damage. That's fucking hilarious. 15% already at plus 7, and then at plus 9 you get 30% cross impact damage, and at plus 11 you get 15% physical damage to all sizes. Jesus, this is the most solid weapon in this list. I'll be honest. You get your critical damage for cross impact, just when it crits, obviously, and then you have EDP on, and you get 30% cross impact damage plus an additional 3% per 2 refines, as if that's not big enough. And then at plus 11 you get 15% more damage. 15% physical damage to all sizes. This is crazy. The one thing that would make this so OP is if it was indestructible too. So yeah, that's this is actually pretty good. And I understand why people are trying to get these, even running 2. To be fair, grade D you get 5% shadow stab damage. Grade C 8% P attack plus 1. Grade B 12% shadow stab damage, and then POW plus 1. This is actually pretty good. Next, the Pentia Tenon for the Abies Chaser. Attack plus 10%, frenzy shot plus 10%. Every 2 refines you get triangle shot damage plus 3%. Plus 7, you get critical damage plus 15%. This frenzy shot crit or triangle shot? I don't know. Plus 9, you get triangle shot damage plus 30%. Plus 11, long range damage plus 15%. This is actually probably the second most solid weapon I've seen compared to the Mukro. Stats wise, you know. Grade D, frenzy shot plus 5%. Grade C, 8%. P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12%. Con plus 1. Yeah, this I would love it. I would love to have it. Sorry, I would love if it had like ACD reduction, just because of the whole triangle shot thing. I mean, it has half a second ACD reduction, but obviously, if you're using something like this, you would probably not have any problem running, you know, stuff that has ACD reduction like Mysterious Wing or Mikoshi, I guess. Next, Pentia Crystalum for the Abies Chaser. Attack plus 10%, 10% death stab damage. Every 2 refines, you get 3% damage for Fatal Menace. Plus 7, you get 10% attack speed. Plus 9, 30% Fatal Menace damage. Plus 11, it has minus 12% ACD reduction, which is good because Fatal Menace has a half second after cast delay. So this will definitely help. For grading, grade D, death stab damage plus 5%. Grade C, 8%, P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12%, POW plus 1. Not bad, not bad. Next, Pentia Nervous for the Windhawk. Attack plus 10%, Crescent Bolt damage plus 10%. Every 2 refines, 3% aim bolt damage. Plus 7, you get long range damage plus 10%. That's actually pretty good off the bat from plus 7. Plus 9, you get aim bolt damage plus 30%. And plus 11, you get aim bolt cooldown minus 1 second, which is enough to make it 0 second cooldown. The only thing this thing is missing is ACD reduction, which I find in a lot of the aim bolt stuff, apart from aiming bow. Yeah, aiming bow doesn't have any ACD reduction. But yeah, this is actually pretty good, and I'm actually trying to get my hands on this one. Grade D, C bolt damage plus 5%. Grade C, 8%, P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12%, con plus 1. For me, this is really solid, just because aim bolt and crescent bolt can actually be used at the same time, I guess, especially with Midgard Night Shoes, which sort of fixes the whole 1 second FCT aim bolt and crescent bolt have. That with this, yeah, it's definitely a deadly combination. I'm still trying to get one of these, to be fair. Next, Pentia Attendo for the Windhawk. Attack plus 10%, 10% Gale Storm damage, Arrow Storm damage plus 3% per 2 refines. Plus 7, you get long range damage plus 10%. Plus 9, you get 30% Arrow Storm damage, and plus 11, you get Arrow Storm cooldown minus 0.7 seconds. Grade D, Gale Storm damage plus 5%. Grade C, 8%, P attack plus 1. Grade B, 12%, con plus 1. I have to say the Arrow Storm cooldown isn't a lot. I like the additional Gale Storm damage, but I guess with the restrictions right now, especially with Moon God Lapel, just to get that 1.5 second cooldown reduction, because right now Gale Storm has 2 seconds of cooldown, you wouldn't be using this bow. You would have to use Moonflower bow. So yeah, I guess yeah, not really something that's viable for me now, especially with Arrow Storm with 3.2 seconds of cooldown. You would rather run like Ignis Cap Type K with Virtual Bow or Virgo Diadem plus Falcon Shooter to get that 2.5 second cooldown reduction, and then the rest from Air Mention Skin. So yeah, not very viable now, although if it didn't have so much cooldown, this would actually be pretty solid, to be fair. Next, the Pentia Corda for the Troubadour. M attack plus 10%, plus 250. Metallic Fury plus 10% damage. Every 2 refines, you get 3% reverberation damage. Plus 7 VCT minus 10%. Plus 9 reverb damage plus 10%. I'm sorry, 30%. and plus 11 you get reverb FCT reduction by half a second, which is actually pretty good. That way you don't have to wear the temporal dex boots for the FCT reduction. That's already incorporated here. For grading, grade D, Metallic Fury damage plus 5%, grade C 8%, SM attack plus 1, and grade B 12%, SPL plus 1. Next, the Pentia Flagellum for the Trovaire. I don't really need to talk about this. It's basically a copy of the Corda, but just for the Trovaire, I don't know. Last, we have the Pentia Vatia for the Troubadour and the Trovaire. Attack was 10% rhythm shooting damage. Every 2 refines, you get 3% severe rainstorm damage. Plus 7, you get 10% LRD, or long range damage. Plus 9, you get 30% severe rainstorm damage. And plus 11, you get 2 seconds severe rainstorm cooldown. I mean, it's sort of the same as everything else. Especially like progression rhythm that actually reduces it by 2.5 seconds instead of the 2 seconds. Yeah, but like, you know, this is definitely workable. I think the lesser cooldown would sort of be alright if I actually had some pretty good damage, especially from a level 5 weapon. But yeah, if you guys play Troubadour or Trovaire, let me know what you think about this bow. Is it something that you guys are using? And yeah, I mean, you know, it looks pretty solid for me. You know, especially for grading, grade D, 5% rhythm shooting damage, grade C, 8%, P attack plus 1, grade B, 12%, con plus 1. So yeah, it's still pretty solid stats. And like I said in the last video, the tomb stuff is more a combination of bonuses for 3rd class skills and 4th class skills. Although the 4th class skills right now, most, if not some, some of them are not really workable. It's not something that they're not convenient. You know, we're still most of us are still used to running the 3rd class skills just because of the cooldown reduction or the, you know, the lesser restrictions, so to speak. But yeah, these are some good transition weapons. It does take a long time to sort of farm them, but there are other ways to get them a lot easier. But yeah, it's definitely something to think about, especially the fact that these are level 5 weapons. That would definitely mean that you actually get more bonuses for upgrading them. Just not just grading them, but upgrading them compared to level 4, 3, 2, or 1 weapons. So yeah, that's something to think about. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.